Hey everybody, welcome back to the Wolf Pit with another episode of What Are We Eating? Tuna noodle casserole. You either love it or hate it. I don't think there's really a middle ground between whether you like hot canned tuna or you don't like hot canned tuna. And if you happen to like hot canned tuna, more than likely you've had a hot tuna noodle casserole before. They're very inexpensive and easy to make and quite delicious. But just like anything homemade that you have to make, if you don't have the time, wherewithal, or desire to make it from homemade, you either go through a drive-thru at a local fast food restaurant, or you go down the frozen food aisle at your local grocery store, and you grab something frozen and pop it in the microwave when you get home. So if you're craving a hot tuna noodle casserole, you could stop by your local grocery store and pick up the Stouffer's 12-ounce tuna noodle casserole for $3.48, which consists of freshly made egg noodles, tuna, mushrooms, celery and peas, and a creamy sauce. And if you were wondering, it's made with cooked tuna, as opposed to live tuna. Stouffer's tuna noodle casserole is delicious because it's made with freshly made pasta, no preservatives, made with cage-free eggs. The trays are made with 30% recycled plastic, and it's freshly made and simply frozen. Well, people seem to like the Stouffer's tuna noodle casserole. Out of 79 reviews, it got 3.8 stars out of 5. Here's the fairly small list of ingredients. The serving size is the whole container, which has 420 calories, 19 grams of total fat, 6 grams of saturated fat, no trans fat, 80 milligrams of cholesterol, 860 milligrams of sodium, 40 grams of carbohydrates, 2 grams of fiber, 7 grams of sugars, and 22 grams of protein. You can heat the Stouffer's tuna noodle casserole in a conventional oven or microwave, and today I'm going to do it both ways. Here's our Stouffer's tuna noodle casserole right out of the freezer and right out of the box. And like I said, I'm going to cook one in the microwave and one in the oven. The heating instructions for both methods say to remove the plastic film, and then one goes into the microwave for 7 minutes and then rests for 1 minute. And then the other goes into a preheated 350 degree oven for 45 minutes and then rests for 1 minute. Here's our Stouffer's tuna noodle casserole after microwaving for 7 minutes and resting for 1 minute. And let me give you a heads up. If you have cats, it was as if someone rang the kitty dinner bell. After about 4 minutes in the microwave, the aroma of hot tuna wafting through the house certainly got the cat's attention. Well, to be fair, it would have gotten anyone's attention. I love tuna fish just as much as the next guy does. But I gotta say, the aroma of this tuna fish wasn't all that appealing. It was certainly fishy, to say the least. Fishy or not, I'm still gonna try this. For you, the people, so you don't have to. So we went in with our blacked out spoon and got a big old spoonful. And then into the old pie hole and down the gullet it went. And if you're wondering where the Invisispoon of Sue is, it went in for a software update and a much needed polishing. But you, the people, need not fret. It'll be back before you know it, shoving highly processed foods into my pie hole and down my gullet so that I can try them so you, the people, don't have to. So after shoving a few bites of Stouffer's tuna noodle casserole into my pie hole, after microwaving for 7 minutes, I've come to the conclusion that even a mass food producing company like Stouffer's cannot make cat food edible for human consumption out of the microwave. It ended up being a gloppy mess of overcooked noodles with an overwhelming canned tuna flavor that lacked any kind of real sustenance, with an almost extinct, very bland sauce. However, you, the people, know how I feel about peas. As underwhelming and flavorless as this dish is, Stouffer's found a way to make peas edible. So let's see if Stouffer's tuna noodle casserole is any better after baking in a 350 degree oven for 45 minutes. So we went in and scooped up a big spoonful, or should I say, carved out a big old spoonful. Right off the bat, it doesn't look like the oven was very nice to this casserole, or maybe I should say it wasn't very beneficial to it. And what I mean by that is that it looks like by baking it, it evaporated all the sauce, highly concentrated the fishy flavor, but contrary to common sense, but somehow almost omitted the fishy flavor. It made this very edible. I gotta admit, I was a little bit scared when I initially had to carve out a piece of this casserole. I thought the fishy flavor would be very overwhelming and it would be dry, but it was overall pretty good and moist. The microwaved, or this oven version of this tuna noodle casserole is certainly not going to go down as one of my favorite Stouffer's meals of all time, but certainly shows me it was worth trying the Stouffer's tuna noodle casserole in the microwave and the oven. But even though the oven version was edible, this certainly was not one of my favorite Stouffer's meals. So with that said, before I give it a rating, I'm going to go ahead and change the rating from 0 to 10 to 0 to 5. I've just come to realize that there's really not enough criteria to justify or accurately rate a food from 0 to 10. So with that said, from a value standpoint, I don't think this was really a bargain at $3.50. From a quality standpoint, it was nothing to write home about. In the oven, it was a little bit better. So with all things considered, I'm going to give Stouffer's microwave version of the tuna noodle casserole a 2 out of 5, and the oven version a 3 out of 5. Thank you all very much for watching, and I'll see you soon.